I mean, initially they were a little confused, I guess, because I was like, so I play FIFA and I upload the videos to YouTube and I get ad money and I want to give you that ad money. And they were like, well, why? Like, why all of those things? Like, it's a very strange thing to pitch to someone.
But I was like, who's this guy with 4 million fans in America know about AFC Wimbledon?
I hadn't heard of John Green before I came here.
My children were the ones who, first of all, were like amazed by it. When they heard, first thing they said to me was, Dad, do you know who this is?
It's bizarre. It's completely bonkers. You know, if anyone had said to me, either what you need to go after is someone that can play FIFA and generate a crowd and that will pay for a sponsorship, it's insane. How could anybody ever envisage it? You can't make that scenario up, can you? You can't.
There was this team, Wimbledon FC, that played very near to where the tennis tournament is. It was mostly amateur for most of its history, but then had this glorious run, and then they won the FA Cup, which is this big national competition in England, and almost immediately after winning the FA Cup, things began to fall apart. There were problems with their stadium. They were purchased by foreign owners who sort of stripped the assets out of the club.
And the club owner decides, in a very American style, you guys are used to it here, franchises, Baltimore Colts, in the middle of the night, they zoom off and disappear. That's just sports, but in England, it's not. And when the club owner decided, we're going to move, we're going to go to a new future, we're going to move to Milton Keynes, he expected the fans to keep coming with them. And the fans, they were disgusted. This does not happen.
Absolutely everybody was knocked backwards by the stupidity and the unfairness of it, but that galvanised the determination of people to say, you won't do that to us, we'll get back.
And they reacted to this in the best possible way, which is that they decided to start a soccer team.
Where the owner said, you know, I have you, I own the club, I can do whatever I want with it. These Wimbledon fans, they turned around and they said, fuck you, you can go.
So in 2002, they held open tryouts in this public park, Wimbledon Common. They had no uniforms, they had no players, they had no idea how to run a soccer team.
They decided 75% of the club would always be owned by the fans. This would be a club that was built in protest, and they said we are going to start at the beginning, and that meant plummeting to the very, very, very bottom, the deep bowels of the English Football League.
They started out in the 9th tier of English football. They would go to away games where there were 50 or 60 fans. Yeah, I mean, the only comparison I can make to American sports is if you started a baseball team in the whatever's below single-A baseball.
A man walking a dog in the park may stop by and watch, smoke a cigarette and watch this football. There's very little to see.
But then when they would play at Wimbledon, there would be thousands. They worked their way up in 9 years, from the 9th tier until they were in the 5th tier of English football. One promotion away from being a full-time professional club in the Football League again.
And Wimbledon are down to one penalty kick to take them into the Football League. And the fans club that started less than 9 years ago have a Football League club once again.
So to become a league football club was what the ambition always was initially for the club, and to get there in such a short space of time was a fantastic achievement.
Normally clubs will have a sugar daddy, if you will, that will put a load of money in and buy who he wants and pay the wages and whatever, and that'll be how the clubs run, but not Wimbledon.
It's one of the things that as a fans-owned, fans-run club, we have to be open to anything.
He passes to Akinfenwa. Akinfenwa! Oh, he missed the goal. No, it went in. It went in with his last touch of the game. Adebayo Akinfenwa. Beast mode on. He's big. He's round. He's worth 10 million pounds. Akinfenwa. Akinfenwa.
John Green, what a man. He's a man of many skills. He writes books. They become New York Times bestsellers. He produces movies. He's just gold at the box office. He starts to do vloggy stuff with his brother. It becomes a massive YouTube sensation.
Good morning, Hank. Good morning, Hank. It's Tuesday.
Good morning, John.
Hi, I'm John Green. This is Crash Course World History, and today we're going to talk about World War II.
And then he becomes a pillar of the YouTube community.
DFTBA!
DFTBA, I will see you on Monday. And as we say in my hometown, don't forget to be awesome. My brother decided to start a gaming channel called Hank Games, where he was going to play video games every day, and then people would watch them, and we'd get ad revenue, and also it would be fun.
Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green and I have just become the manager of the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblies. As always, I'm counting on you, the supporters, hopefully to get behind this club and its amazing story.
John doesn't see things like you or I see things. He doesn't see things as one-dimensional sporting stories. When he hears for the first time this Wimbledon AFC story, he sees a pharaoh barking at his people. He sees the fan base as slaves freeing themselves from the chains of tyranny and overthrowing the ruling class, and he is emotionally deeply connected. And John Green playing EA Sports FIFA, playing quite awfully, if I'm going to be honest. It's kind of like thinking about Hillary Clinton breakdancing or Morrissey doing taekwondo.
So there is absolutely no appeal in watching me play FIFA. So I've tried to build a world for the team that's interesting so that people will want to watch. Like our two starting forwards are John Green and John Green.
I should mention, if you're new to the game, that John Green and John Green are married to each other. They're teammates in life and in love. No one has the chemistry that both John Green and other John Green have. I mean, that's just one of the things about being the only strike partnership in all of football that is also a marriage.
It sounds awful, but it became must-watch for several 100,000 people who would tune in avidly to watch this grown man play an electronic game incredibly badly, but just to hear the sweeping saga that he was able to kind of create out of his dreadful play with his beautiful imagination.
Lastly, I want to introduce you to our new players. Playing in central defense, we have Eliza, aka Lizzie, Bennett. But I do want to make clear that even though all of these players are obviously based on actual AFC Wimbledon players, I want you to, if you can, divorce yourselves from their reality so that the actual A. Bennett doesn't get mad at me for turning him into a woman.
But the more and more I thought about it, I thought, you know, it's this advertising revenue that we're making from this channel could go to AFC Wimbledon, and that idea was so compelling to me that, yeah, I just called AFC Wimbledon and asked if I could sponsor them.
And I didn't really know who John Green was at the time. Yeah, why would I? You know, I'm a commercial director, part-time commercial director of a football club in Wimbledon, and you know, but as I'm speaking to him, I googled at the same time, and that was really funny because it just came bang up there, and it was like, oh right, okay, yeah.
I mean, initially they were a little confused, I guess, because I was like, so I play FIFA and I upload the videos to YouTube and I get ad money and I want to give you that ad money, and they were like, well, why? Like, why all of those things?
It's completely bonkers. You know, if anyone had said to me, Ivan, what you need to go after is someone that can play FIFA and generate a crowd, and that will pay for a sponsorship, it's insane.
But then it grew when we were offered the opportunity to sponsor the back of their shorts. Then you can see your own logo in FIFA while you're playing in order to generate revenue to pay for the very logo that you're seeing in FIFA. That struck me as circular in a way that was very appealing. So yeah, so now we sponsor the back of their shorts. That sort of liminal space between thigh and buttock is all us.
They are suddenly running around the field in a pair of polyester shorts, and on the back of it, it says DFTBA. Don't forget to be awesome. It's unbelievably surreal. But John didn't just stop there. He ups the ante. That wasn't enough for him. The year later, he came back and he said, I'd like to sponsor a whole stand. The North Stand is now the John Green Stand. And it's surreal and it's beautiful, but because it's in John Green's world, it makes perfect sense.
'Cause it's John Green, and 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 it's John
This is so cool.
So this is the crowd's cheering, John.
Wow! Wow!
See, you're staying.
That is so cool.
Forget Hollywood. Forget
Yeah,
Hollywood.
no, this
John.
is way cooler than that.
This is the real thing. What is it like to sit in your own stadium right now?
This is not something I ever thought would happen to me in my life. I have to say, I did not technically tell my wife about this sponsorship until after it was publicly announced.
Sorry!
So that's part of what I'm thinking here, is I think if she could be here, she would feel the magic. You know, when I found this club, I found the oddest bunch of people. But, you know, in this stand, there's going to be 5,000 people singing together who may not agree about much, but agree about this.
A lot of you are here because we've got a special guest here today. You all know who he is. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the one and only John Green. John, this is your debut really in front of AFC Wimbledon fans. Have you got a message to all of the fans?
It is such a testament to me to the power of individuals over corporations, over wealthy people, over greed. It is such a testament to me of the power of individuals who care about something and care about an institution to make this happen. So thank you for letting me put my name ridiculously on your North Stand. This club reflects the best values of football, the best values of sport, and I feel so, so lucky to be a part of it.
I mean, the whole story of AFC Wimbledon ultimately is about struggle, is about value, is about collective coming together, reflecting upon what's important to them, what's not important, and then setting course on an odyssey, not knowing exactly where they're going to be going, but knowing most importantly, they're going to be going together.
I want them to be the internet's team. I want them to be America's football team. You know, I believe in football for and by its fans. I believe in these communities. I felt like I'm part of a community. I feel that I'm not alone in the world. And I think it's even more powerful for fans of grassroots football. I think it's even more powerful for AFC Wimbledon fans. I mean, they really are part of their team because they own it.